So moving on to another of those sets kindly donated is York 861, and this belonged to the gentleman from New when he was a teenager. So, we'll fill in the paperwork. Subject to seeing the serial number. One of the fluorescent tubes needs replacing in here. Somebody says to me, "Oh, you can get LED ones, you know." Yeah, but I've got a box of 25 fluorescents. Right, well, again, this should be a working set, but you never know. I mean, I knew that Midland was a working set, but still have to do a little bit to get it optimal. Something to check on this right away is the connector, just to make sure that this one looks alright, that the actual internal leaves, that one's a bit sprained. Otherwise we're going to end up kind of getting around scratchy corner, and Mr. Chippett goes, "Are you sure that aerial connector's okay?" We have these in stock, but so do other people. Right, I'll take the lid off, and we'll do it to our test speaker, because I don't think I've got a power lead on here. I've got one out of stock. We haven't got PA on these. It comes with the factory original mic. We will test that. That's come out of the thing there. That needs half an inch cutting off and redoing. Right, we do it on our standard replacement mic. Just happens to be a stub power lead on here. Tell you what, the ones we supply are a bit thicker than that. Having said that, it's only like 1.1 amps, isn't it? Right, 13.8 volts, power it up, channel 20. Transmit. We'll start off on the low power switch. Set it. That's nearly said sweating there. It's not that hot. It's beyond the 3 watts. It's spot on 4. Good. channel 40. No transmit. Channel 1, 4 watts. So it looks like we've got a VCO issue. Channel 39, channel 40. It's working on channel 40 now. But we need to check that VCO. Interesting points come to view from another dealer. He said I've got set with an Amstrad type chassis, so we're talking about the Cybernet 002F. So we're talking about this type of chassis, and he got no transmit above channel 37 or whatever it was, and the VCO was right. So he discovered, I can't show you that one. Let's show you our beautiful Cybernet. No, it is Cybernet. Mustang 3000. And he discovered, and you've seen me do this on every set that we take both lids off. Check these screws that hold the chassis in. Half a turn there, these are missing. Half a turn there, that was absolutely fully tight. So always make sure all the mounting screws are in place. When you put the lids on, it lost channels at the top end on transmit. When the lids weren't on, it was fine. So you got some strange capacitive effect, and the cure was the screws. So just be aware of that. Right, low power. So on the front on these, 500 milliwatts. Back to channel 20. Current consumption 1.075. Deviation on this test set, wallow, looks about right, it says 2. Test set's only been on 5 minutes. 2779104 is probably going to be right. Slightly low at the moment. The meter, transmit, is 4. The switches work, the potentiometers work, the sockets work, it doesn't have PA. Right, we'll go through the transmitter, and we'll worry about the receiver. So although it's spot on, I've got to check it's spot on. We'll do the VCO in a moment. So that's the receive VCO, that's transmit VCO. We'll go through the transmitter, making sure we're on channel 20. We're looking for the centre of the peak. Need to be on the other scale. Centre of the peak. Centre of the peak. Centre of the peak. Then we want the blue tool. We've been sent some 3D printed tools. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pause the. We'll do the VCO. Then somebody has sent us some 3D printed tools. So see whether we can work them on this. So we'll do the VCO next. So channel 40, far side, that was spot on there, but I'm just drop it to the 4. .99 on transmit. It's 3.95. You know what? I think the fact that it didn't come up with channel 40 may have been the channel selector switch, not kind of between channels. But what is supposed to happen is you get an error code from the channel selector switch, because it's binary coded decimal, isn't it? If you get an error code, it's supposed to go to channel 9. Dirty volume control. Can we deal with it quickly on this model? It might have to be from the front. We'll see whether I can get it through the rivets. Right, so I'm going to check the frequency again. So it's 106 now because it's everything's still warming up. I'll just go over to the frequency counter. We'll dial in the receiver. So 27, 79, 106. That'll do. See where we are. Let's look at the SINAD meter. And plug into the extension speaker socket instead of the speaker on the wall. So it's an isolated chassis, so I'll need an earth on this speaker, which we don't have an earth on. It causes shenanigans on newer sets, which aren't floating chassis because they're cheaper made. There probably aren't many cars that aren't negative earth, which is what this was about. Right, a bit more volume just to be fair to its AGC. It's so spot on, I'm beginning to think it's one we actually serviced for him. Squelch is 185 microvolts for full, 185, and on minimum set threshold, signal generator back on 0.68. Check the S meter, 100 microvolts on the signal generator, and it's not quite there. It's 220. Right, we'll do the receiver. We'll start by doing the detector. So we'll put up the oscilloscope, meaningful trace. Absolute fraction there. Go to the SINAD meter again. Spot on. Spot on, you don't get the extra one on these. It's to do with selectivity, not sensitivity. Do the IFs. I need to be able to see the meter as well, so I'm just going to have to jack the meter up, probably to maximum sensitivity. It's a bit dirty, that. So I'm looking at the SINAD meter mainly. I also look at the oscilloscope. I'm also looking at the meter on the radio, because they all need to be at the peak. I think we'll start off with that one. And just triple check that one. Right, well, it's gone backwards and forwards on that. I doubt we're going to see any difference because it was already 0.2. Just see if we can go on a lower scale, but I doubt it. Yeah, it says it's just slightly lower than 0.2. It actually it even picks up on the lower scale. So again, it's one of the best of the best, this. And then 0.34. Still managed to gain something. Probably end up keeping this as a reference set. Right. S9, 100 microvolts. Squelch. So squelch to full. Let's look at the attenuator. It's just about on the edge. I can feel it. Tiniest little twiddle. Now we'll check the sensitivity. .46. Well, not quite. Let's say 0.52 to be more truthful. Right, I'm going to come back to this in half an hour. We'll finish the transmitter off, which it says already doing 4 watts. Just got to make sure it's balanced right. And I want to check the frequency, I want to check the deviation. Because the test gear has only just been put on when I started this radio, there's still really another 10 minutes to go before I want to be absolutely sure that things are spot on transmit. So we'll come back to it. I think we'll start with deviation. Now I'm back. So we'll go to the test set behind. See what it's got to say on this meter. Oh, it's like that, is it? Wow, it's absolutely spot on. Right, so that leaves us with the transmitter deviation, the AGC one's in the right position, deviation is correct. Did I reset the meter? Because I altered it, didn't I? Yes, the meter's done. We've just got the power meter to do, we've just got the power to do on the radio. So one of our acquaintances has made some adjustment tools. So, yeah, that seems to fit. And a little handle, so right, instead of getting my blue one out of its packet, we'll use these, which great. Go to the main meter. So we want maximum, which is there. Maximum, which is there, and maximum, which is there. So about 4.8 watts. What you're supposed to do now is we turn the left hand yellow one clockwise till we get 4.4 watts. And then we get the green one anti-clockwise. Now the service manual says 3.8 watts, but we're entitled to 4, so we're going to have everything we're allowed to, whereas they've got to get their radio through customs. So we'll now check it on channel 1, it's 4 watts, channel 40, which is 4 watts, so we've got the balance there. Never leave it at full whack. Legality aside, it will kill the radio. And it starts by you melt these coils. Where you're going to get replacement from, you know. Now we need to set the meter. It's exactly on the 4. so that's fine. Meter adjustment is that one at the back, and then we just need to do low power. So switch the radio to low power. I think that one's cleaning. milliwatts. And we are done. So put the lid back on. The other thing to mention, I was thinking about the screws being tight. It's also been observed that you can end up with dimming dial lights as it struggles to pick an earth up on transmit for the same reason. So always make sure they're tight. And I'll do that on this even though we haven't taken the lid off. I'll put this lid on. So what we'll just do is take those screws out of there and put them in there. Have a quick look to see if there's any potential dry joints. So that one has no earthing bond. That does have an earthing bond. That's absolutely tight. That has an earthing bond. That doesn't. They're tight. So it was the Cybernet 002F that was reported on. Good. Right, we'll get some screws in that, and well done to the person who sent in those 3D printed trimming tools. Thank you for that. That works out a treat. It's not easy to get those sets of trimming tools. There was something that Tandy's used to sell, and I thought they were an outrageous price. I think they were £6.99 for the set at the time in the 80s, and you think, well, that's outrageous. But now you're having to pay more than that. Sometimes I've imported them from a vintage TV game company in the United States, but J-Car at well, that's on the floor now. J-Car at, come on, you know what I'm going to say, don't you? Australia, they certainly stock them, and we have been able to get them in the UK from one of the wholesalers. I just can't remember who it was. I don't think it was. You know, we get those grain of wheat lights from. Oh, come on! I can only think of Economic Devices, and they've gone. Rapid Electronics. Yeah, we got those from Rapid Electronics, but there was another firm, I think they're still in business, and that eludes me. I think they're in the north, up like Newcastle way, who also supplied those sets of trimming tools. So, but it's always useful to have more. There was the time that RS Components did those. They only do 2 now, and they used to do 3, and one of them was really good, which was the phosphor bronze one. So there we go. We'll swap the aerial for the aerial. Is that logical? And turn the test gear off. One on a Roger. Nope. Good. Just have a. I'll tell you what. Put it on 20. Put my walkie-talkie on. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. And we'll just try the other mic. I'm gonna have to fix that because it'd be nice to have that available on the air test. It clearly needs the mic the plug sorting out. I'll just see whether it does work. I'll manage to disconnect this from power somehow. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2, no audio. So we know what's wrong there, don't we, folks? Especially when you can feel that the outer sheath isn't in the cord grip. We have had that Maxcom 7E in, which was promised, so that's going to be a forthcoming attraction. Yeah. Right, I'll take the video off record, and I'll come back on when I've actually soldered the wires on. Right, we've got all those back on now. So put a fresh piece of, I've put heat shrink sleeving there. Got to find where the clamp sprung off to. So put the teeny weeny screw in. There it went. Well, got the clamp, but what about the other screw? Well, you know what? I found that as well. Hopefully that now works. Testing 1 2. It doesn't. 1 2 1 2. It doesn't work. So there was a wire off. You see why we don't do mics, can't you? 40 odd minutes to do the set, 40 odd minutes to do the mic. That's alright if you're a hobbyist, but I'm not. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Switch. So switch the radio off. Put switch cleaner in it. Both poles. Did you see what I did there? I shorted out with a metallic screwdriver the audio hot, and it came straight through. So it has to be the switch. Testing 1 2. Let's fix that. Oh, I was hoping it wasn't going to be the insert, because with it being an original mic, that'd be nice for the next owner to have. I'm pleased about I've been able to fix that. So double fault. And it was the audio off at the plug end. Testing 1 2. Right, so that's the original. We'll be doing the test with the standard replacement. Testing 1 2. There we go. There we are. So thanks for watching the York JCB861 from 1981 using the Cybernet 134 chassis.